All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We got a lot to look at today, and we're going to start off with this clip of the Russian media clowning the U.S. or the Biden administration on our choice to bring back Brittney Griner over Paul Whelan. And in this clip, where we're going to jump in at right now, they're talking about Paul Whelan. You can see the subtitles below. They say he is a spy. They're talking about Paul Whelan. I just want to give the context so you know exactly where we're jumping at in this conversation. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while we're watching. Now let's roll it.
Разведчик. Ну, для нас он шпион, для них он разведчик, то есть герой. Он морпех, он увешан орденами. У него одна проблема, две. Проблема первая, три. Проблема первая,
три.
Он белый. Вторая, он мужчина. Третья, он, судя по всему, все-таки гетеро. Понимаешь, а этого сейчас вообще не прощают. Это катастрофа.
Не, ну Грайнер...
So they said first, he's a man. Second, he's a heterosexual.
И ты понимаешь,
бьет его по всем
и
параметрам.
как...
Yeah, and you see he said, hold on.
Грайнер
И
здесь
ты понимаешь...
бьет-
Yes, here Griner beats him in every aspect. So they're saying what a lot of Americans like me and you think and know to be true.
его по всем
И
параметрам.
как может американскому избирателю дали выбор? Герой, пострадавший на службе Отечеству. Он же по службе пострадал. Герой, увешанный орденами, пострадавший за то, что он работал на свою родину, на США. Или чернокожая лесбиянка, наркозависимая, пострадавшая за какой-то вейп с гашишем.
Okay, so the way that they explain that obviously is not 100% correct. The American people weren't given a choice. We had no idea what was going on. The Biden administration made that choice for the American people. But I will say that the American people influenced his decision a little bit in this way. There's a large population of this country who might not be LGBTQ plus. They might not be a part of that group, but they defend it. You know, these groups, the certain marginalized groups you in give you these infinity stones of of seemingly invincibility. And Brittney Griner is black. She's a lesbian. She's a WNBA player. She has some status. She beats Paul Whelan in every aspect of popularity for them to choose someone to bring back. Imagine this. They bring back Paul Whelan over Brittney Griner. Imagine how many people will be complaining about racism, homophobic, the homophobism, whatever you want to call it. You know, they will be getting a lot of backlash for that choice. So I think, and they think as well, that the Biden administration went with the choice that provided the least resistance on pushback, and also giving them the most popularity in votes, because the only reason they brought her back, in my opinion, was for votes. But we gonna get into more of that as this video progresses.
Американский
И очень
избиратель...
известная.
Да.
Очень известная. То есть в пиаровском плане...
Американский избиратель выбирает очевидное. И я считаю, что для нас это вторая хорошая новость. Первая хорошая новость, что Буд вернулся, а вторая хорошая новость, что нация, которой до такой степени наплевать на своих героев, что она считает значительно более важным вызволить действительно за дело пострадавшую. Пусть она известная, спортсменка,
Но она
неважно.
призналась, что она
Но
виновата.
она пострадала не за то, что она родине служила, а за то, что она гашиш свой не могла без него там 10 часов обойтись или сколько, да? Вместо того, чтобы вызволить человека, который 2 года уже сидит, на секундочку, и который родине служил, и за это служить, это о многом говорит. Это много говорит о состоянии этого общества, этих спецслужб и всего того, что имеет отношение к противостоянию геополитическому.
You know, and a lot of people like or want to discredit Russian media or whatever, and you can do that, rightfully so, but you got to know what the world is thinking about us. And you know, we made a trade with Russia, and this is how they feel about us, and this is how a lot of Americans actually feel about this story. A lot of Americans wish that we would have brought Paul Whelan back. I mean, he's been there longer. You would think the amount of time you serve would take some precedent. You know, Brittney Griner was only there for 9 months, and Paul Whelan was there for 2 years. So you want to get the guy who's been gone the longest back, right? The guy who served your country back, right? But, we chose to bring back Brittney Griner. So we also going to get into this, you guys. So there's been a report released from NBC. Now, apparently NBC had a bombshell report that Russia offered American Brittney Griner or Paul Whelan, citing a senior government official, it would be Biden's choice which one to save. The report was later edited without explanation to mirror Biden's explanation that only Brittney Griner was offered. So when I open these two pictures up, pay attention to what's highlighted, because the stuff that isn't highlighted is the same in each picture, but I'll read the whole thing anyway. A senior U.S. official told NBC News that the U.S. government has sought to have both Griner and Whelan released as a part of a swap with the Kremlin, which wanted the return of Viktor Bout, a Russian arms dealer who has served 11 years of a 25-year sentence in the U.S. But the official said Russia has treated Whelan differently because he is an accused spy, and that the Kremlin gave the White House the choice of either Griner or Whelan or none. Or none. Okay? Now read this one. A senior U.S. official said that the U.S. government has sought to have both Griner and Whelan released as a part of a swap with the Kremlin, which wanted the return of Viktor Bout, a Russian arms dealer who has served 11 years of a 25-year sentence in the U.S. But the official said that Russia has treated Whelan differently because he is an accused spy. No, he is accused of spying, and that the Kremlin ultimately gave the White House the choice of Griner or no one after different options were proposed. So NBC went back on this original story and re-uploaded this. So in my opinion, someone had to contact them and tell them, yo, no, we're not running with this. Take this down. The Biden administration wants to make this seem like they were given no choice, that it was Griner or no one. But many people think that wasn't the case. Many people don't know what to believe from the Biden administration, and rightfully so. They've been lying to us lying to us and going behind our backs, doing things ever since, Biden was first put in office. So rightfully so. But you see it here. They went back on this story. So which one was it really? Was there no choice? Did Biden screw up the negotiations? What was there a choice of either one, and then maybe he screwed up the negotiation and then there was no choice? We don't know. But the fact that NBC posted a story and then quickly changed it, edited it, and put out the new spin on it, which Biden wants them to go with, is very convenient. And I'll show you this here real quick.
Unfortunately, the choice became to either bring Brittney home or no one. As the president said this morning, he will never stop working to secure Paul's release and return home, and he will not give up. On a personal note, Brittney is more than an athlete, more than an Olympian. She is an important role model and inspiration to millions of Americans, particularly the LGBTQI plus Americans and women of color. She should never have been detained by Russia. And I am deeply proud of the work that the president has done, this administration has done, to get her home.
I don't care who she's an inspiration to. We did not make a good trade. Regardless of who she's an inspiration to give away an arms dealer, to give away that much leverage, that is a valued prisoner. If you're thinking in terms of war, if you're just thinking in terms of power, to give away someone who caused that much destruction for a lesbian black WNBA player, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm going to finish it up with this article, you guys. Evidence indicates Biden admin prioritized WNBA's Griner over Marine Paul Whelan despite claiming otherwise. And we just seen that right now. On Thursday morning, the Biden administration announced that WNBA player Brittney Griner had been freed from a Russian prison in exchange for Viktor Bout, a notorious Russian arms dealer who was known to Western intelligence agencies as the Merchant of Death. You got the picture of Kamala, Joe. This is Brittney Griner's wife. They're really just milking this for the PR. And I think the marriage, there's some marriage equality bill that'll be passed soon, and I'm sure they'll want to get these two in on it and just milk the PR, cash in on the all the points that they can. The seeming lopsided trade was made worse by the reality that American citizen Paul Whelan, who served in the U.S. Marine Corps, was left behind in Russia. For several months, the Biden administration had been publicly indicating their intent to try to secure the release of both Griner and Whelan in exchange for Mr. Bout, before announcing Thursday that they had secured Griner in a 1-to-1 exchange. Did the Biden administration choose Griner over Whelan? Although Biden officials and the president himself have denied that was the case, several pieces of evidence seem to indicate that Griner was indeed prioritized over Whelan, and that Moscow allowed the Biden administration to choose either individual for the 1-to-1 swap. The corporate media, citing senior Biden admin officials, have delivered clues about the prisoner swap options. NBC News, a known regulator of state propaganda, stealth edited its story about the decision to choose Brittney Griner over Paul Whelan for reasons unknown. NBC News, citing a senior U.S. official, changed its entire narrative about the prisoner exchange. The key paragraph in question from NBC's story first read before being stealth edited, and yeah, again, this is all they're saying right here in this article is they're explaining these two pictures. Right, how they edited the story and changed it to suit a better narrative, right? Now we're gonna go down to the bottom here, and there's some word from from Paul Whelan's lawyer and his brother. Okay, the NBC report also cites Whelan's Russian lawyer. Whelan's Russian lawyer Vladimir Zahirbenkov also said that the deal was an exchange of 1-to-1, and that choosing Griner, 32 years old, appeared more humane because she's a woman and an Olympic champion, while Whelan was in the military and it is easier for him to be in custody. Okay. Zahirbenkov was previously said that Russia offered a 1-to-1 swap for Whelan in exchange for Bout prior to Griner's detention. This offer was apparently rejected by U.S. officials. Additionally, Whelan's brother has indicated that just days ago, the former U.S. service member was being considered for a 1-to-1 swap. It sure seems, at least according to initial reports, along with testimonies, Whelan's lawyer and family, that the Biden administration is not telling the entire truth about its deal with the Russians. So we got some pretty suspect information, some pretty suspect things going on. We don't know who to trust. We don't know who to trust on this. Paul Whelan's brother said that just days before that they were talking about releasing him in some sort of deal, but it seems like the rug really just got pulled from under everybody. That they just said, all right, we're making this decision. Boom. That's why it's so much outrage. But I will leave every piece of information that I use in this video for you in the description to look at yourself. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe on your way out the door, you guys. Let me know how you felt about this in the comments down below. Till next time, I'm out of here. Peace.